Okay, so think about public works departments. They're basically the backbone of our cities, right? But here's the problem. They are absolutely drowning in a sea of field reports, emails, and PDFs about everything from potholes to broken signs. And this brings up a really critical question.
I mean, we're talking hundreds of these things coming in every single week. So what happens when one of them is actually urgent? A real public safety hazard that needs someone on it like yesterday. Where does that report actually go?
Well, the sad truth is, a lot of the time, it just gets stuck. Yeah, buried in this huge data backlog, just waiting for a person to finally open it, read it, and figure out what to do. And that delay, it can have some pretty serious consequences.
And that right there, that's the heart of the problem. We're calling it the daily data backlog. But, this isn't just about falling behind on paperwork. It's really about the hidden risks that are lurking inside this old-school manual data entry process. So, let's paint a picture of what this manual workflow actually looks like. You've got an administrative clerk, and their job is to open every single email, click on every PDF report, read it, and then, painstakingly, retype all that vital info into the city's asset management system. It's slow, it's repetitive, and let's be honest, it's just asking for mistakes. Okay, and this is where things really start to go wrong. First off, you get way slower response times for those critical safety hazards. Then there's human error. I mean, a simple typo in an address or a work order number can cause huge headaches. And when things get busy, those backlogs just balloon out of control. But here's a really interesting one. There's no clear audit trail. It's almost impossible to track who entered what and when. So the big question is, how do you break out of this cycle? Well, you automate the workflow. The best way to think about it is like giving your team a brand new digital assistant, one that handles all that boring, repetitive work so they don't have to.
So this digital assistant is powered by something called Robotic Process Automation, or RPA for short. And here's how it works, step by step. First, it just watches the inboxes and folders 24/7, waiting for new reports. Second, it instantly reads and pulls out all the key data right from those PDFs. Third, it plugs that data directly into your asset management system with 0 errors. And finally, and this is crucial, it alerts the right people the second it spots a report marked as urgent.
And you know what the best part is? This whole thing works with the systems you already use. Seriously, no need for complex, expensive changes. It just works with what you've got.
Now, this is a really, really important point to understand. A lot of other automation solutions, they need these complicated integrations or special APIs to talk to your systems, especially the older ones. But ZAPTEST RPA is different. It uses something called computer vision. It literally sees and interacts with your applications on the screen exactly like a person does. That means it can work with pretty much any system, whether it's brand new or decades old.
So, okay, what does this actually look like in the real world? It's a huge shift. It takes your team from being buried under a mountain of backlog data to being able to take immediate action. It's all about turning that raw data into a real-time response. And the system is smart, too. It's not just dumbly copying and pasting. It has this built-in logic that actively scans reports for keywords, words like hazard or emergency. When it finds one, boom, it automatically flags the issue, shoots an email alert to supervisors, and pushes that report into a priority queue. Nothing critical ever slips through the cracks again. Oh, and another huge benefit here is the audit trail. Since the whole process is automated, you get a perfect digital paper trail for every single report that comes in. You know exactly when it was received, when it was processed, and when it was escalated. For accountability and compliance, that is absolutely vital.
All right, so all of this sounds pretty good on paper, right? But what about the real-world results? Let's take a look at the actual measurable impact this kind of automation has.
Get ready for this. The results are just staggering. We're talking about a reduction in manual data entry of over 90%. Just let that sink in for a second. That is a massive, massive operational win for any department.
And when you look at it visually, the impact is just undeniable. Check out the response time for those critical safety issues. Before automation, that time could be dangerously high. Afterwards, it just plummets. This isn't just about being more efficient. This is a direct improvement to public safety.
And the wins just keep on coming. Data accuracy, it skyrockets because you've basically eliminated human error from the whole process. Staff productivity obviously goes way up. And this is so important, your administrative clerks are now free to focus on high-value work,
Stuff like planning and coordinating the actual field responses, instead of just typing all day.
There's a quote that just perfectly sums up the mission behind this technology. Urgent public safety issues should never get buried in an inbox again. It's all about making sure the most critical information gets to the right people right now.
So I'll leave you with this final question to think about. In your department, right now, is your data driving immediate, effective action? Or is it just sitting in a backlog, creating dangerous delays? It's a really crucial question to ask.